Hello, this weekend I went to a board games convention, which is something I've never done before. I'm relatively into board games, as you can tell by my actually small pile of board games as I came to discover. The board game convention was SHUX19 and it's based in Vancouver. I live in Vancouver, and so when I saw it was on, I thought, oh, I should do that, take advantage of it. And I thought I'd just sort of describe what it was like to go, and so what to expect if you think of going next year, or what you missed out on if you're thinking of going and didn't go. So the first thing that you did when you arrived was to get your badge, and then we got given a free game, which is this one, Villages of Valeria. You got to choose a bunch. I've not played it, I don't know. And later on I got given this other game. It's quite nice they were giving us free games. It was kind of like two big rooms of a conference center, and most of the area was set aside for people to actually play games. And they had a games library where they had a phenomenal range of games, and you could just go there, you'd give them your ID, they'd give you a game, and you could find people to play with, which is when I started to realize, actually, wow, the board games hobby goes deep. The games library was huge. It was sort of overwhelming to see all of these games and try and decide one. Fortunately, I had sort of a plan when I was going in. There were a few specific games that I wanted to play. And the best thing about the weekend was I managed to find people to play with really easily, and all of the games that I wanted to play. So I managed to play those over the weekend. There was also some social games, which I've never played before. So of about 30 people, they have different roles. They have to work out clues, secret information. They were fun. And there were some indie developers also showcasing their games, doing some play testing. There was a big theater where different podcasts were being recorded and different large games you could play. There's also like an expo hall, which is where developers of games were showing off their latest games. You could talk to people about the different designs of things. And there was some mega games going on, which I don't really know. I didn't actually take advantage of those because they were like 5-6 hours long. So I didn't want to spend that long playing a thing that I didn't really know. Not quite sure. Mega games, go somewhere else if you want to find out about those. But that was kind of all of the different things that were going. Oh, dexterity games as well, flicking games. Which were like really fun, and actually a great way to meet different people who were there, because they're so casual. You can just come in, play a few rounds, meet people and stuff. And then I played some other game. I played Wingspan, which is a very popular, well-reviewed new game. I played Chinatown, and I played Azure. Those were the three games I really wanted to play going in, and I played a few other ones, including a lot of crokinole, which is kind of like a mixture between darts and shuffleboard, and it was incredibly fun. They had a really good system at the conference for finding people to play with and for getting like rule clarifications too. So they had these balloons where if you wanted to find people to play with, you'd have this red heart balloon, and you can just basically sit down with the game that you've got out and put this balloon next to you. So you can look out over this conference and basically see exactly where there are games where people are looking for other people to play. You can go over, see if it's something you want to play, and join them. And that we were never sitting around for very long before we had enough people to play the games. Another one was another balloon, which was like a unicorn balloon, where if you needed to work out how to play a game, the volunteers at the conference would actually come and help you, and if they knew the rules, they'd teach you how to play, or they'd go find someone who knew how to play the game and they'd describe it to you. So that was really helpful. Meeting people was really easy. I feel like because you've got board games as a common interest and you can sit down and play games with people, you've got an easy way to start talking to people. So going there on my own, obviously a bit worried that I'd just be drifting around on my own with with everyone else playing games, and I'm just like, oh, please play with me, please, I am normal. But it turned out that was never an issue at all. So if you're wondering if this is a good convention to go to on your own, I would say yes. I had a great time. So it was great that on all of my games I didn't need to sit down and waste time reading a rule book. It's so much faster if you've got someone who knows how to play the game. And I reciprocated as much as I could by teaching other people some other game, El Dorado, which is one of my favorite games. So we played a few rounds of that with people who hadn't played it before. And I was also trying to give out advice like local advice of places to go eat, because it's not always easy when you're downtown in Vancouver to find the good places. And then people were giving me advice about what the best games were. So I was asking people, what are your favorite games? And what are things that I should try out and play? And so I've got now a whole list of board games which I want to try out. So I'm going to have to find some board game cafes or something to try those out. Because it's good to try games before you buy them, which is why a conference like this is so good, because they've got such a huge library. You can basically go try out a bunch of the games on your gaming list and try them before you buy them and see if there's a nugget of fun in them and whether they'll work for your gaming group. But yeah, I met some people who also live locally, so now I've expanded my group of board gamers, hopefully meet up with those, play some games, maybe like lend out some games too. This convention I think is, I hear, a bit more expensive than other conventions. It was $150 US or 180 Canadian, but I thought it was well worth it for 3 days of gaming. It's only $50 a day. You get to play a bunch of games, try out a bunch of games that otherwise I would have had to have bought or relied on reviews. Actually playing games is really, really good. Meeting people was just the best bit, and making new friends. You can't put a price on friendship, can you? Apart from Dave, he still owes me 50 quid, so I guess that friendship's about 50 quid. So yeah, that was my experience of SHUX 2019. I hope this was useful if you're interested in what was going on. And I'll definitely be going next year, especially seeing as it's in Vancouver. I don't have to travel anywhere, which is kind of very cool. All right. Oh, I'm Dominic, by the way, and I have another YouTube channel, which is my normal thing that I do. It's called Domain of Science. I'll link to it here. So if you're interested in science videos, go check that out. Otherwise, hello and bye.